Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
Let's go, Grizz, let's go!
Oh, Jahmai just broke the rim with that finish.
Defense, take that ball! Defense, take that ball!
Jared with a rejection.
Give me that!
Brent digs at it, knocks it away. Picked up by Pippen. Bob, Brandon Clark.
Ooh, on that rim!
The FedEx St. Jude Championship at TPC Southwind, first of the 3 playoff events.
Watch me take flight. It's a different sight when you take it to this height. And you know this. We them boys step into the wars, ready to give me my awards. See, I got them starstruck. I got nothing to lose, so I'm letting it loose. Out here paying my dues. I got them starstruck.
What is the biggest Summer League accomplishment so far for this Grizzlies team?
Tuomas Isalo filling out his coaching staff. The Ryan Saunders hiring was essential. It was big time. You have a veteran NBA voice there.
Hey, Grizzlies fans, be sure to tune in to Grizzbeat, where the panel and I break down all things Grizzlies and take a look at the rest of the NBA as well. The show is live every Wednesday, 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
You ready? I've been ready. What are we waiting for?
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans. Want exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you? Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Shinedown. Dance Kid Dance Tour. Live in Memphis. FedEx Forum, Saturday, August 30th. With special guests, Bush and Morgan Wade. Get tickets now at livenation.com. Shinedown, live in concert. For more, visit shinedown.com.
You get to the main event, and you hear the crowd. There's some rumblings in the crowd.
Here we go.
They say, "We want truth."
I love how John Cena said when they were chanting, "We want truth." You can't handle the truth.
There you go.
I loved it.
He tasted me off, boom. Takes the mask off, boom. And it's our freaking truth. God, man, he cost John Cena the match.
Tune in to Grind City Wrestling weekly on the Grind City Media app and on the Grind City Media YouTube channel.
Let's check the over-under totals. Alabama, Georgia, and Texas all at 9.5. LSU, Ole Miss, Tennessee at 8.5.
I love Ole Miss over the 8.5. I think Ole Miss can win 9.
But Ole Miss, they're gonna, Ole Miss, they're gonna lose to Arkansas week 3.
But they could go 9-3. Like Ole Miss winning 10 games
they always
is always
pull some
like
crap like that.
Ole Miss winning 10 can seem a bit of a stretch, but they can win 9.
They're gonna lose at Kentucky week 2.
The Odds Couple, live at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Live from downtown Memphis, this is the Chris Vernon Show on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Now, here's your host, Chris Vernon.
What up, what up, what up? This is the Chris Vernon Show. It is Friday, August 1st, 2025 edition of the show. Today is a best of show. I am your host, John Roser. We'll be back on Monday with a full show, 10 things. God, I love 10 things. And we'll be back with you that. Today on the show, you're going to hear interviews we've done this year. Cedric Coward, the number 11 overall pick in the NBA draft that the Grizzlies traded up for. We did an interview with him the day after he was selected by the Grizzlies. He joined us in studio. You'll hear that interview. And then the star of Grizzlies Summer League, well, I guess one of them, Jahmai Mashack, the number 58 overall pick out of the University of Tennessee. He joined us when we were live in Las Vegas at the Doghouse at Resorts World. You will hear from Jahmai Mashack. And then in our final segment, two-time Major League Baseball All-Star Brent Rooker. He played at ECS, went to Mississippi State, now plays for the Athletics, hit a 3-run shot in the All-Star game this year. And as a two-time All-Star, he tells the story of how he went from ECS all the way to the majors and becoming an All-Star. Turn it up. All right. As I told you, Cedric Coward, Jahmai Mashack, Brent Rooker, best of edition of the Chris Vernon Show. We'll be back with a regular show on Monday where we will have 10 things. But first up, Cedric Coward. The Grizzlies worked out Coward the week of the NBA draft and then traded up with the Portland Trailblazers from 16 to 11 in order to select Coward in this. Now, leading up to this draft, Chris had told a story of being at Target. And we got a Target guy because Target guy told Chris, just this rando at Target, told Chris that Cedric Coward was going to be the best player in this draft. And then lo and behold, the Grizzlies made the Desmond Bane trade. Didn't think they were going to have a pick. Made the Desmond Bane trade, got the 16th overall pick. They used the 16th overall pick and a future first to trade up to the 11th pick with the Portland Trailblazers and draft Cedric Coward. You've all heard the story a bunch. Cedric Coward came in studio with us the day after he was drafted, and here's how it sounded.
Look who is in studio. The Grizzlies drafted Cedric Coward. The other night he has been the topic of a lot of conversation on this show and around here for the last couple of weeks, and here he is in studio. Thanks for coming in, man.
Thanks for having me, man. I'm excited to be here.
All right, what's the last 24 hours been like?
Surreal. I mean, it still really hasn't hit me yet. But at the same time, I'm super blessed to be here and literally to see like all the hard work accomplish half of the goal, which is to make it. I mean, it's incredible.
All right, so the reason you have been such a source of conversation is about 2 months ago, I was walking through Target and I bought some basketball cards, and a guy said to me, hey, everybody's trying to get these Cooper flags, but the best player in this draft is going to be Cedric Coward. And I said, who? And he's like, Roser gives this list of wing players with 7'2" wingspans and the success rate of them about a week and a half ago. Your name popped up immediately on the list. I said, some guy in Target told me 2 months ago. So we have not found the guy that told me this in Target. And maybe it was an angel from heaven. Maybe it was. So that's why you saw the celebration the other night on draft night that we had. You were the guy. You were the target.
You were the official pick of our show, yeah.
Yes, the official pick of the show. So let's go back in time. Everybody now has heard your story about starting at Willamette, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, when you get out of high school, are you one of these guys that's like, why does nobody notice me? Why do they not think I'm as good as I am? Or are you thinking, I've got to go somewhere and get better?
I think all three kind of like popped into my head. It was more of like, I got to go somewhere and get better, because to be quite honest with you, I just wasn't that good, you know, like
in high school.
I am now. Yeah, like I was a good player. Like I was the best player on my team, and like I won Athlete of the Year and stuff, but that mixed with like, I didn't work as hard as like, you know, I was playing 2K rather than, I say, going shooting in 100-degree weather. And as well as like COVID didn't help. you know, and, you know, I didn't play like on the AAU circuit. And so there's like a multitude of things that I could always like complain about and be like, well, this didn't go my way or this didn't go my way. But at the same time, like, I just wasn't putting in the work that I needed to. And shout out to my mom and dad, because they wanted me to leave home. Like, I was real comfortable in Fresno, but they wanted me to leave home, which led me to Willamette, which led me to being super bored, getting on the court, figuring out that work was working, and then it just became habit.
So how did you pick that school?
It was kind of like the only option, where it was like doing what I wanted, which was to play basketball, and doing what my parents wanted, which was having me leave home. Like, to be 100% honest with you, I really don't know like what other options I had, like that could give me both of like the best of both worlds.
No schools talk to you?
No.
None?
And I lived,
Zero schools?
Zero schools. And I lived like 10-minute walk from Fresno State. So.
And never even looked at you?
Nope. Salem, Oregon.
Yeah. So we went to Salem, Oregon.
Salem,
and
Oregon.
So one of the things that you have talked about when I've read interviews was that you walked away from basketball or didn't play for, there was a time period in your life where you didn't play, and that like made you miss it and made you realize that you wanted to be great at it.
Yeah, so my high school sophomore to junior summer, like graduating and going to being a junior, I didn't play AAU, anything, because like the previous years, I just didn't like the situation I was in terms of like, I wasn't that good, so I wasn't like, you know, the ball wasn't in my hand, stuff like that. But I just thought I was falling out of love with the game. And I was like, you know what, man, like, I don't even want to play this year. Like, I remember having this conversation with my mom and dad, and like, it was like, it wasn't even a tough conversation for me to have. It was just like one of those things where it's like, I told them, I don't want to play. And they were like, you sure? And I was like, no, I don't want to play. But obviously, I wasn't just going to be sitting around playing video games all day. So what they had me do was go to work with my grandpa. And so he was in construction, and we basically went out every single day. And from the ground up, like, there wasn't even a foundation. We had to build the foundation to build, like, an add-on to a house. But it was like a whole nother house. So we had to do that the entire summer. And from there.
So construction work reminded you how much you love basketball?
Dude, man, I told myself, I was like, dude, I'd rather be doing anything else than this. Like, I mean, hammering nails. I have so much respect for people that can, like, hammer nails. Like, I put a roof on. Like, I was, you know, shoveling sand out of a pit, like, up a ramp, down a ramp. Like, it was insane stuff like that. I really think about now compared to how I have it now. But honestly, that taught me, like, one, you rather be playing basketball for a living, and two, like, I didn't, like, fall out of love with the game. Like, the game was always there, and the love for it was, like, never gone. It was just, you had to light that fire back, and I just didn't like the situation. But as soon as I did that, I was like, it don't matter what situation, I'm playing basketball. So.
Did you play any other sports growing up?
I played football. That was
Until when?
Until I got to high school. And I was like I entered high school, I was like 5'9", probably like 150 max. I don't even know.
Right.
But honestly, you can probably ask my parents about this better, because I don't even know like what I told them the reasoning was. I think it was just because I didn't want to get hit anymore. But
hey, me too. Say it.
Yeah.
That's why I love you. I respect that.
I do remember when I told them, like, it was like tough, because I was low-key scared to tell them, because I've been playing football my whole life, and you know they got used to the fall and winter being taken up, and then like the spring, because I didn't play baseball, I wasn't good at it. So like that would be the time, you know, where I had my off. But when I told them like I didn't want to play football anymore, like I remember vividly my dad being like, "Are you sure about this? Like you've been, because I've been playing since I was 4," and he was like, "You sure? Like you sure about this?"
What were you? Receiver?
I was a quarterback.
Yeah,
I was a quarterback. Yeah, so I was like, so when I told him, he was like, "Are you sure about it?" And then it's funny because like years later, he told me, he was like, "Yeah, man. Well, you told me that first, man. My heart broke." I was like, because I've been playing it for so long.
Right.
But at the same time, I'm glad I made that decision, because look where I'm at now.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And so did you, at that point, you said you were 5'9", right?
Mm-hmm.
When did you hit your growth spurt? Because that's been kind of that's where I get confused on the backstory too, because it's like even his sophomore year, he didn't make varsity. Yeah. But when did the growth spurt happen?
Yeah, so I entered high school 5'9". Obviously, I wasn't good enough to play varsity, but at the same time, my mom didn't let me play varsity just because, one, we had a super old team. Like, everybody on that varsity team was seniors, and like they were like really, really talented. And so she wanted to get the experience for me to just, one, play, but two, get used to like the high school game. But then the next year is when I like took my real growth spurt. I grew from 5'9" to 6'2", and from there I had to get used to my body. So it was kind of like my decision at the end of the day of like, I played JV instead of bumping right up to varsity because like I was a super clumsy kid. You know, I didn't know how to really use my limbs and stuff like that. So that's when I really like refined my game in terms of getting used to my body. And then gradually throughout from sophomore to senior year, I grew like 2 more inches to like 6'4". But then when I got to my second year at Eastern Washington, that's when I got like 6'6", like a legit 6'6".
Oh.
So, yeah, so that's like, I guess where it tapped out.
So it was college.
Yeah, it was college.
So when they say late bloomer, it's really late.
For real.
Right?
Yeah.
Because there's a huge difference between, right, as soon as you grow to 6'6". And could you feel yourself as you were growing? Did you feel yourself like, oh, this is a much bigger advantage for me. I'm dunking easier. I'm doing a lot of these things. I have a size advantage that I did not have.
You know, that was one thing, especially because like Fresno, there's not many tall people, but at the same time, that was like a thing where I look back at it and like, dang, this stuff did get a lot easier because of height. But it was mainly when I got into the weight room. When I got into the weight room, that's where like it was a complete flip of the coin where it was like, oh, this is like super easy now. Like I'm bumping people off. Like I'm able to jump. Like I have super long arms, so it's like I don't really have to jump to dunk. But it's like, and I really do jump. Like I'm like head at the rim type thing, and then I'm just stronger than most people. And then adding that with the height just gives me a full advantage.
When you went from Willamette to Eastern Washington, was there a massive jump in competition in your mind?
At the start. I mean, it was the biggest thing was just getting used to the size. Like it wasn't like the athleticism too, but the size was the biggest thing because like the biggest guy in D3 is probably you're gonna play. Like we played a 7-footer one time, but he was just like shooting corner threes. Like he wasn't dominating at the rim. And then, but like on our team, the biggest guy was like 6'8". You know, me being 6'4", 6'5", I was like right there. You know what I mean? But when you got to that D1 level, 6'10", 6'11", 7 foot, 7'1", like we played Ole Miss my second year at Eastern, they had a dude that was 7'5". Like it was like, dude, like Jesus. But at the same time, like that was probably the biggest adjustment was just the size and also understanding the level of talent. Like I always shout out my boy Steele Venners. He kind of gave me my introduction to D1 because I remember I would like guard him and he can shoot the heck out the ball. And I remember he shot one shot and I was like right there. Like I couldn't play better defense and it was nothing but nylon. And I was like, and I just looked at him. I was like, so this is what it's like. I was like, all right, but nah, man. But that was probably the biggest thing was just the size and then like the competition. I think as you play more and more, like because we played a lot, especially like during that summer, we played a lot of open gyms, a lot of scrimmages, and like in our practices we played a lot. You just get used to the competition.
When did you start thinking the NBA was a possibility?
At first, I was hearing stuff my first year at Eastern, like you said. I remember the Mavericks had a scout come to watch some of our other guys. And then I remember, because we used to always at the practice go watch film in the coaches' offices. And I remember I went to the coaches' offices, and one of my coaches, I forgot who, but told me, they were like, hey, I just want to let you know, like, the Mavericks were, they enjoyed how you practiced today. And for me, I'm naive to the situation. I'm like, oh, nice. And then, like, let's watch film. So, but for me, it wasn't like a huge deal at the time, but then I also heard like people keep talking about it and like keep hearing about it. And as we have more scouts coming, they're still talking about me. Not like to the extent of like later on, but they were like, hey, they noticed you. I was like, oh, okay, cool. And then the next year at Eastern, when I made my jump, like obviously people say like you get better and better each year, but when I made my like significant jump, I think that's when teams started to come see me. And then it's like, from there, it's like, okay, don't like just be yourself and just keep doing what you're doing. But at the same time, this is a possibility. This is like a real possibility, and just keep playing.
So how did you keep your head about you when now you transfer to Washington State? This is your chance. This is your moment to prove yourself, right? You weren't invited to the the Combine and the G League Combine, all that stuff the year before.
Yeah.
So now you know, all right, I'm going to Washington State. This is where I'm going to prove myself. And then have it ripped away from you, 6-7 games into the season. How do you keep your mentals when something like that happens?
Yeah, well, first, shout out to everybody around me. I mean, I have the greatest agents, the greatest family, the greatest support system, coaches, all that. Like, when I first went to Washington State, there was definitely, like, I guess pressure is what you can call it, because, like, now this was my one opportunity, my chance to really show who I was and, like, stuff like that. But at the end of the day, going through the draft process the first time, they give you the answers to the test. Like, this is what you need to work on. This is what you do well. Obviously, you have to work collectively and, improve everything. But, like, this is what you don't do as well. This is what you do well. This is what we want to see in order for you to be one of our guys. Like, oh, okay, don't let that go in one ear out the other. Just go and literally work on that, and that's what I did.
They told you.
Yeah, like they tell you.
Here's what, if you want to get drafted, here's what needs to happen.
Yeah, they tell you. So it's like, if you're not listening, it'll go right over your head. But for me, I made sure to soak up all information and everything possible so I can give myself the best shot. And then, like I said, like, shout out to my coaches, because we got right to work. Like, once we got to Wazoo, and we got the right to work, and plus we had to, like, teach the new guys the system and stuff like that. But ultimately, we had a great year, great summer. The guys got, we were really close. And then as soon as, that practice happens, that dreaded practice, I go up for a rebound, get grabbed in my shoulder, hear a pop. And it's like nothing I ever felt before. It was like, I couldn't tell right away because adrenaline was running through, but I ended up finishing practice, and we even, like, played live, and we won, which is crazy. And then we did a shooting drill, which I did really, really good on. So after, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm good. Like, worst case scenario, it's a sprain, I'll tape it, whatever. But the next morning is when, like, it hit me, because I woke up and I went to take a shower, and my arm felt like dead weight. Like, I couldn't lift it at all. Like, and I was like, oh man, this is not good. So I called my athletic trainer, let her know, and then we did all the testing and stuff. And this was November 22nd I got hurt, and I didn't tell anybody until November 24th, because that's when we got the actual results of, like, what was happening. And honestly, when I first heard, like, I couldn't play basketball no more, I tried to be a tough guy in that room, like, with my coaches and them. But as soon as I got by myself, I broke down, like, so bad. Like, it was horrible. Like, you can ask my mom, I'm calling her crying. I couldn't even get the words out.
Because you feel like your chance has been stripped from you.
So, like, my immediate thought was, like, one, what's going to happen with the team? Because, like, not only am I an intricate part of the team, but I want to be there for my guys. But then, two, it's like, what's going to happen with the NBA stuff? Because, like, I only had 1 year, you know what I mean? So it was like, dang, our team's going to be, drawn away. Like, what's going to happen? But, like I said, this goes back to, like, having the best people in my corner. Like, I remember I called my agent, and he was like, you're going to be just fine. Like, don't even worry about it. And at first, when he said it, I'm like, bro, how do you know? Like, this has never happened to anybody before. You know what I mean? Like, my story. But I was like, you know what? At the end of the day, I ain't got no choice but to trust him. And, he ain't never lied to me before, and everything he was telling me was, coming to truth anyways. So I was like, let me just throw myself into this. And, at the end of the day, if it doesn't work out, I just gave all I had. I didn't leave anything on the table.
All right, couple rapid fires. When did you find out the Grizzlies loved you?
Probably when I came to work out.
Which was what? Last Monday, right?
Monday, yeah.
And then you knew.
Yeah.
Did you have a promise before 16?
No.
You did not?
No.
There was not like a backstop that you knew,
nope,
I'm getting drafted there. So you didn't know on draft night? Did you know the Grizzlies were going to try to get up and get you?
No, I had no clue.
Wow.
Yeah. It
was all a surprise?
Teams are real secretive, man. I'm telling you. I think, I thought the Grizzlies loved me when I worked out because it was, like, super fun and everything was, just natural. Like, it didn't feel like interviews. I was just talking to people. Like, when I talked to Kleiman, like, it was just like, we were just having a conversation. It wasn't like said, what's your favorite color and, like all that stuff.
What's your favorite color?
It wasn't interview.
First date type vibe.
Yeah, it wasn't interview questions. It was just like, hey man, how you doing? Like, and it was just real easy to talk to him. It was real easy to talk to Coach Thomas, and then, like, obviously Jalen and all these guys that, like, it was real, just natural, felt natural. But I thought they loved me after the workout just because everybody's telling me, like, I did well and stuff like that. But, like, honestly, it really set in too, like, once you hear your name called.
Yep.
And then, I ended up talking to him after.
What did you know about Memphis? What did you know about the Grizzlies prior to this crash course that you've probably gotten in 24 hours?
Yeah. About Memphis, not much because I'm a West Coast kid.
Right.
I lived on the West Coast my entire life. I've been to Memphis once because we played Ole Miss and we had to shoot around at University in Memphis. But I didn't know much. I knew y'all had the Mississippi River, and I like to fish, so I knew that's going to be pretty cool.
Hey, stay away from that river, bro.
Yeah, I knew
It's
that's
kind
going
of
to be
dirty.
cool.
It's kind of dirty down there.
Yeah, but not much, really. And then I knew y'all had the Grizzlies.
And
then,
you knew Ja, you knew Jaren.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
But,
and Jalen.
Yeah. But,
probably had an awareness of Jalen simply because he's third and rookie of the year and went to your school.
Yeah. Also, before Jalen pulled out and stayed in the draft, I wanted him to come back to Wazoo. I thought that would be pretty cool to play with him, but God works in mysterious ways, doesn't he?
Yeah.
So I knew that. And then about the Grizzlies, I was watching the Grizzlies from a really young age, especially because when you guys had Mike Conley, Tony Allen, Zebo, Marc Gasol, Rudy Gay, all these guys, I can't lie, I was not a Grizzlies fan. I was a Laker fan growing up. But at the same time, they played the Lakers a lot, obviously being in the Western Conference, and I watched those games a lot too. So that was pretty cool.
Wow. All right. So where's the shoulder at now?
The shoulder is good. If it's up to me, I'm playing. If it's up to if my choice is, we're good to go 100%. But at the same time,
but during the pre-draft,
it was all one on those. Yeah, it was all one on those. But we did
evidently you're amazing versus air.
Casper can't guard you, bro.
Yeah, if you're not amazing versus air, I think that's a problem. But I think with the Grizzlies workout and a couple other workouts, it wasn't against air. It was against coaches. It was against guys who guard NBA players every single day. So for me, it was just going out there and getting that competition and that competitive spirit back. I'm always competitive, even if I am versus air. I'm competitive with myself. But going against people that's the greatest feeling in the world, and it's nothing like it. So when I when I went against the coaches and my Grizzlies workout, I made sure to take full advantage of it.
Let me ask you about yesterday. Coach Thorpe was on with us, and he said he shot 72% from 2-point range, right? And he said this is a kid that understands what a good shot is. Who taught you that?
Honestly, my coaches.
He said, this is what he said.
Yeah.
Either he's the greatest shooter ever or he understands what a good shot is.
Yeah, my coaches taught me that. We played a lot through the post. That's how we gained our advantages. And then, going through that, you kind of understand, the closer you are to the basket, the higher percentage you can make the shot. And plus, I work on it. So it's not one of those things where it's I'm just throwing up some BS and somehow, some way it's going in. But ultimately, just finding your different ways and different advantages to, get good shots. And plus, when you're around the basket, you've seen it, teams collapse so much. So not every shot around there is going to be a good shot. So you might have to kick it out. But then Coach Thorpe, to his credit, also taught me, just simplify your game. It doesn't have to be difficult. You don't have to do all the up and under stuff. He always talks about getting to the second box. That is his favorite phrase. And honestly, that's probably the best place on the court to score because it's right before the free throw line. It's not a long two, but it's close enough to where you're not going against the trees, but you're also just taking a real comfortable mid-range shot. And you get there, you can do so much. You can float it, you can shoot it, you can step through layup, you can use all types of pivots, you can kick out, get back out to three, all types of different stuff. So, ultimately, my biggest thing is just do what I can to make the right play. It doesn't, if it ends up in a shot, it does. If it ends up in a pass to an assist, it does. But shooting 72% is credit to, I guess the work I put in and my coach is helping me, take advantage, especially because we played through the post. And then honestly, understanding the simple aspect of the game is what helps everybody.
Real quick, what do you love off the court? Are you a movies guy? Are you a video game guy?
I need you to get on their head. They're J. Cole haters, bro.
J. Cole haters?
No, don't try to run away now.
It's just boring.
They're J. Cole haters, bro.
It's a little
boring.
It's a little boring, Sid.
No.
It's a little
what's boring about it?
Thank you, bro.
What's boring about it?
It's a little boring.
Because he's not rapping about, what I'm saying.
No, it's okay, because I get it. He's just letting it go in one ear out the other.
Exactly.
He's not cultured. I get it.
He's not really taking it in, bro.
It's just a little boring.
I get it.
I get
it. Yeah. They on my head all the time about Cole.
You know what? J. Cole, one of the greatest out there, straight up. So that's all I'm gonna say.
This one I had somebody on my side.
Yeah.
Let's go.
But ultimately, off the court,
is it video games?
Yeah, I'm a video game guy. I'm not gonna lie, I don't play 2K. Like for me, it's so unrealistic. I'm sorry. And
Dang.
I don't say like the actual.
Guess who's getting
2K.
a 76 when it comes out?
Don't say that.
I don't say
Ronnie's
They're gonna be
listening,
like
bro.
71 for Cedric
Ronnie's listening.
I don't
Get
say,
ready for your 76, coward.
Yeah, I don't say the actual game of 2K, but like, everybody played my career.
Everybody.
But it's like, dude, you got like 5'7" my career dudes and 99.3, 99 speed, like running the game.
Yes.
And then like, I'm really upset because I'm not that good at it. Like I can't dribble and all that stuff like that. So like, I just don't even play. But like, when it comes to Madden and college football, oh yeah.
Who you play with? Who you play with in college football? Because you
My
can't play
main
with
team,
Eastern
my main
Washington.
team is probably Georgia. Honestly, with you. Like,
Who's your
I can-
NFL team?
You can't play with the best
I'm a
team.
Packer fan.
A Packer fan from California.
How are you not a Niners
Aaron
fan?
Rodgers, bro.
Niners is weak.
Let's go!
Niners
Hey,
weak.
how about the Cowboys? They're also weak,
That's
right?
my team.
The Cowboys are terrible too.
There we go.
All right, we're out of time.
That's my guy.
Can
my
you
guy.
believe all of this is happening?
Yes, I did envision myself like being here, but at the same time, it is
On the
like,
Chris Vernon Show? Really? This is
No.
great?
Yeah, but I think it's also a thing where it's like, it is very surreal, and all I can do is thank God for like the opportunity and to putting me where I am at now. Like, if you asked me back in November when I talked to Todd and my agent Todd and Alexis about if I'm gonna be here, like, and they told me I'm gonna be all right, I would not have believed them. But at the same time, I think that's the thing, like, just having that faith and that belief, not only in myself but in what people you trust say, is the main thing.
We're so excited to have you here, man. This is going to be great. And so congratulations.
Thank you.
And welcome to town.
That was Cedric Coward, the number 11 overall pick in the 2025 NBA Draft on the Chris Vernon Show, in studio the day after he was drafted. Next up, another one of the Grizzlies draft picks. Maybe the surprise of all of Summer League for the Grizzlies. Jahmai Mashack out of the University of Tennessee. Not many Grizzlies fans knew about him prior to them selecting him, but he made his presence known. His very first Summer League game he played, he fouled out, had 10 fouls. Like 7 guys have done that ever, have fouled out, had 10 fouls in a Summer League game. Mashack played 5 games in Vegas, averaged 9 points, 4 rebounds, 4.5 assists, 2 steals, 1.2 blocks per game, shot 49% from the field, 42% from 3. And now it's a conversation, is he going to get that final two-way spot, or the Grizzlies going to make some more moves and they're going to put Jahmai Mashack on the regular roster? Anyways, that's for the front office to decide. Here was our interview with Jahmai Mashack at the Las Vegas Summer League.
I'm super jealous. Tony Allen told me as soon as we get done here, he gets to go take a nap. We've got to fly back to Memphis. We all feel like we got hit by trucks. How are you doing, Jahmai Mashack?
I'm doing great.
Are you okay? Vegas hasn't treated you as poorly as us.
Nah, man, because I've been in the hotel, man. I've been trying to win these games, man, so it's been great.
All right, take us through, let's start at the beginning, right? How does a kid from California end up in Tennessee?
Man, no, that's a great question. It's a question I get a lot. First and foremost, it was probably the biggest thing was my faith. They were really active on letting me speak my faith and really using my platform to inspire others, especially a lot of kids that grew up watching me when they were younger, you know what I mean? And as I'm going through my college career, just kind of being more of a role model and, put them in the right path, and that was big for me. But the main thing for me is, as a Cali kid, you kind of get this rep that you're, like, soft. And growing up, you see a lot of Cali kids go to the SEC, and they end up coming back after a year or two. And I'm like, you know what, man, like, I want to go to the SEC, but not only do I want to go there, but I want to be known as one of the toughest kids there. And for a Cali kid to go there and, be a defensive guy, to be able to be a guy that is feared by a lot of guys on the offensive end, that was a big deal for me, so that was why I went.
All right, how about playing your entire career out at Tennessee, which is a massive rarity now in collegiate basketball, right? Like, we obviously have the Memphis team here, in town, and we've got a new roster like virtually every year. I saw a kid that played there, Alex Lomax. I saw him a couple weeks ago, and I was like, you were like the last guy I remember playing 4 years at Memphis, and you might be the last one ever that plays 4 years. Same goes with you, right? At Tennessee, you had different teammates every year, so Just explain to me how Jahmai Mashack not only chose Tennessee, but then ends up being a 4-year player at a school when that is so rare in college basketball now.
Man, no, it's definitely interesting. You know, you have friends, you have different family members that are like looking at the stats and like, man, you should leave, go to another place, you'll have more opportunity to do this and that. The biggest thing for me is I wanted to win. You know, that was my biggest thing. Whether I was a role player that was just playing defense, whether I was, it was a time our point guard got hurt, I had to play point in March Madness. It was a time where I had to guard freaking Zach Edey in the post. Like, I'm playing 1 through 5. That's the type of stuff. They know I'm a fighter, and I've always been a fighter. And if I move somewhere, I go somewhere just because stuff is getting hard, or just because I'm getting new teammates and I got to become a leader and appeal to different personalities. You know, I know how to do that, man. I've always been a guy that's wanted to be a leader. I feel like I've always had those leadership qualities, and I feel like I've always meshed well with different personalities. So that's why, the community was also another big reason why I stayed. I pour a lot into the community, whether that was, feeding families, whether that was, going out to different food drives that I raised. Anything that I can do to help Knoxville was a big deal for me. So leaving that, it was just...
You ended up feeling like a bigger connection than just being a basketball player there.
Exactly.
I got you. He's speaking your language, Tony.
I'm impressed. I'm impressed.
Right? Not leaving when things get tough.
Staying committed.
Staying committed.
And just having that mindset to, I'm going to definitely get in the community.
Yep.
And uplifting, and I like that about you, bro. So
what about the hanging your hat on the defensive end? Where does that come from?
That's a good question, Chris. That's a good question.
It's rare now.
No, absolutely. It definitely is, man. And, a lot of guys, kind of pick up defense because their coach is like, man, we need somebody who needs to play defense. You want to be tough. Man, I've played defense ever since I can remember, 11, 12 years old. And one thing my dad told me is, if you want to get to the NBA, if you want to leave an impact, if you're a competitor like you say you are, you're going to be one of the best defenders on the court every time you step on there. He said, you're not going to disrespect the game. You're not going to take it for granted. This is not a right. It's a privilege. So go out there and compete every day. Right. As an 11, 12-year-old, I was watching Kevin Durant highlights thinking I was going to be 7 foot tall and dribbling. But my dad was like, you're not. You're not. But you could also be a very complete player going this route. You know what I mean? If you look at guys like Kawhi Leonard, you look at guys like Paul George, Shai Gilgeous, they came into the league as defenders. Guys that, you may not give you as much offensively, but they're real lockdown defenders. They're going to play hard. Choosing that route as an offensive game is easier to come around when you're in the NBA than doing it vice versa. You know what I mean? If you tell an offensive player that's been playing offense all their life to be a shutdown defender, it's hard to do.
They're going to struggle. They definitely going to struggle.
So your dad was a basketball player. Mom was a track star, right? Right. What kind of basketball player was Dad?
My dad was a post-up guy. He was a guy that was in the post, man, and 6'6", really long arms, 7-foot wingspan. But he was a guy that was going to kill you in the post. He played at LMU for all 4 years. He's a Hall of Famer over there. Played in the summer league, went overseas and stuff like that. But he was a post-up guy.
Gotcha. Did you feel like as the finals plays out and you're watching like Indiana and Oklahoma City, that you're like, this is kind of going my way, right? Everybody's talking about these versatile defenders, optionality, somebody to guard out there. You see all the turnovers Oklahoma City is creating, and it feels like all of a sudden the guys like you are all of a sudden getting the stocks going up a little bit because it's like, you know what, man? This kid can defend. This kid can guard multiple positions, fight through screens, do a lot of that stuff that we saw the Thunder doing being so successful.
Yeah, and it's funny that you say that because, I think on the media fan base level, it's gotten more popular, but every winning franchise has always known that defenders like that and guys that, like I said, I don't look at myself as just a defender. I look at myself as a winner, and making winning plays, defense goes along with that. Offensively being able to fit holes, it all commingles, and which is why, people are surprised the way I'm playing just, right now, because I came in as a guy that was a defender with zero offense, but they don't realize that, man, I'm playing a role, man. Like, there's a lot of stuff that I do in the background working on my game that, given the opportunity like Memphis is giving me, especially in the summer league, being able to play point guard, being able to play different positions, I've been able to flourish a lot with that, and it's been helping.
When were you fine being a role player? right? That's the hardest transition for everybody. And we were talking on the show last week. I said, I think this kid's got a leg up on people because he's already been a role player, right? Like Dalton Connect gets to take the shots, and Chaz Lanier gets to take the shots. You're already used to not being the guy every single night, and it's a hard transition for the guys that were taking 17, 20 shots a game in college, and now they're told, hey, man, guard your position, go stand in the corner, figure out how to be good taking 6 shots, right?
run these sprints. You gotta figure while that ball is going up, you're not shooting, so somebody shooting. That's a sprint.
Right.
And so, and to have that energy, and you gotta be, in shape. You gotta be fit and take care of your body. And that's all I'm gonna say moving forward with your career, because you speak well, your mind is in the right place. You know you're a piece to a puzzle, and you ain't trying to go above and beyond what you come to do.
Absolutely.
This is what y'all want me to do. I'm gonna fill that void, and I'm gonna do it with pride. I'm gonna do it 110%, and I like that about you even now, man. I didn't know you played point guard.
So it's a lot of stuff that a lot of people didn't know about me. Especially, going at Tennessee, because the role was a little limited. But it's just funny that you say like a role player, and I've always thought about it a little bit different, which is probably why I play so hard in the roles that I do play. I always think of myself as a star player because I'm doing stuff that guys don't want to do. I'm making winning plays. The whole goal of this game is to win basketball games. I think of Alex Caruso, he's a star player to me. Drew Holiday is a star player to me.
Yes, indeed.
TA is a star player to me. You know
First
what I mean?
team.
But no, it's unique, man, because I think, I don't know how it happened, but the media kind of like, all right, you're a role player, and then this is the star player, the guy that's scoring a lot of points. They don't realize the guy that's rebounding, the guy that's passing, the guy that's defending, the guy that's making those winning plays.
Deflections.
They're making an impact on both ends. And to me, those are the star players as far as, making winning impact on both ends.
You mentioned Edey in passing. All the Tennessee fans that live in Memphis were like, oh, hell no. When we took Zach Edey, you can't stand him, right? Because of that game. They think that he got more bogus calls than any player ever in the NCAA tournament against you guys. You talked about how you had to guard him. So what was it like when you get drafted, come here, Edey's here, and the first time you saw Edey as now a member of the Memphis Grizzlies?
Man, it was funny because he was actually one of the first people to follow me on Instagram. So I'm like, all right, man, I can't be too mad. But when I first saw him, I instantly got into like a competitive mode. I'm like, nah. You know what I mean? It was hurting. It was hurting. But nah, he's a real cool guy, man. He welcomed me in really fast, and I can't do nothing but respect him in his game.
Yeah, that's great. All right, what do you like off the court?
Man. Honestly, I'm a 2K guy, so everything is pretty much basketball for me, man.
Yeah.
I try to go out with friends when I can. I'm a big family guy. Like I said, pouring in the community is important, but 2K, I'm on the game, a lot. So yeah.
Good?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, you're good at the game. Like, do you stream?
Nah, I need to start doing that though. I'm gonna start when I kind of get more of a rhythm with the NBA.
So video game guy is what you like to do off the court.
Absolutely.
Who were you a fan of before the Grizzlies drafted you?
Man,
you're a California kid.
Yeah. I was not a Laker fan.
Good.
I was not a Laker fan. But I was
Coward was.
Yeah, no, that wasn't for me, man. But I was growing up really young. I was a big OKC fan with Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook, which is why I know so much about, Tony Allen and Memphis, because every time as a fan, I'm like, bro, please don't have us match up with Memphis in the playoffs. And every time it happens, every time, man. So, no, they were, I just loved the energy of somebody like Russell Westbrook, the passion that he played with. As I grew up and I got a little bit older, I really started to love Kawhi Leonard's game. And being from California, Kawhi Leonard and Drew Holiday, those are guys, especially defensively, that I look at a lot as well. And probably as I got to high school, Drew Holiday started to become like my favorite player to really watch and really look at his game. Those are, with him and Derek White, man, those guys, man, I feel like there was no role that they couldn't fit into if the team required it to be. And that's kind of where I feel like I'm going, man.
Right. You want to be valuable.
Exactly.
Last two things. Take us through draft night. I mean, are you going, oh, no, I'm not getting drafted. I mean, the last pick of the draft, unbelievable.
I know. It was crazy, man. It was crazy because before that, you know, a lot of people that don't really know the ins and outs of basketball is like, Jahmai's not going to get drafted. You know, he doesn't do enough offensively. He can't do that. It's so funny. As I got to these draft workouts and I started working out for different teams, and I got the feedback. They're like, man, you're a lot better offensively than I thought, and that was why it was big for me that I don't find myself as a limit player. I don't like using the word ceiling for a player like me because, one, I didn't get the reps as much in college. So getting the reps now is doing nothing but helping me. And I think going into the draft, that was a big, you know, green flag for a lot of teams. And especially with Memphis, they saw that in me. So it was I didn't know what was going to happen until probably 3 or 4 picks, like, right before. So me and my parents, like, are preparing, like, all right, if you do go undrafted, what's the move? What's going to happen? And then, you know, my agent, we're kind of going through it. And, man, when I was sitting there and because I watch the draft every year. When I was sitting there and they said my name, it didn't feel like it was real. Like, it didn't feel like it was real. And for it to be the last pick, I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm going to be great now. Like, it's going to happen.
I'm going to be great.
It's going to happen. I was the last pick in the draft. It happens for a reason. So I was definitely excited with that.
How many teams you worked out with in that process?
I had 14 workouts.
14
workouts. It was crazy.
You saw the politics in that and how many people duck workouts. They found out you in there.
Oh, man, come on now. Like, I'm already knowing. It's like, nah, I'm not going today. I
hated that.
I'm like, come on, bro. Let's be honest, man. Like, I get it, bro. I get it, man. It's a little bit of fear, but I can smell that on the court, too. So.
All right, last thing. 10?
Yeah.
10 fouls? Mm-hmm. You used them all in Salt Lake City.
Oh, man, what? Hey, look. So
we laughed so hard.
Bro,
you became the 7th player to ever foul out of a summer league.
And I said I wanted to make history here, and I did. You did. I'm a part of the great list. DeMarcus Cousins on that list.
DeMarcus Cousins on that list.
See, look, I'm a part of a great list of players, man. You gonna tell me I got 10 fouls? I'm not gonna use it like I got 5. I'm gonna use 10 if I got 10.
I'm glad you made that like you made it, bro. I'm out here competing, bro. At the end of the day, bro.
If they give me 10, I'm using 10.
If it means I can win that game, give me all 10. I'm good.
I'm rolling.
Jahmai Mashack, we're so glad you're here. Thanks for coming by, man.
Appreciate it, man.
All right, we're going to take a quick break.
All right, you've heard from Cedric Coward and Jahmai Mashack. When we get back, you will hear from 2-time Major League Baseball All-Star Brent Rooker. That's next on the Best of the Chris Vernon Show here on Grind City Media.
Speaking of Adidas, are these the Harden 10s?
Yes.
Yes.
I guess so. From what
you guys don't sound too excited. It kind of looks like when you flush the toilet in the water.
Yeah, it's like a whirlpool.
I want to be phone positive. Want to be phone positive.
Or artists just making some paint up and they just
looks like phone positive material.
Or a thumbprint.
like-
The Sneak Fest Show, live Tuesdays at 2 p.m. on Grind City Media on X, YouTube, and the official Grind City Media mobile app.
Scotty Scheffler ran away with the Open Championship this weekend. My God, this guy, he's not real. Have we reached the point with Scotty Scheffler where you don't have to care a thing about golf, but you still know there's a dude named Scotty Scheffler who is awesome at it?
He is solidified himself as one of the greats in the sport. At this point, probably of all time.
The Gary Parrish Show, live on weekdays at 10 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item, whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans want exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you. Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Have you always dreamed of entertaining on the biggest stage in Memphis? The Claw Crew is looking for members to join their team for the 2025-2026 season. Claw Crew members are hardworking, high-energy entertainers who assist Grizzlies home games by hyping up the crowd and much more. Not only do they support the Grizzlies at home games, but also promote in Memphis and across the Mid-South. Open auditions are Saturday, August 9th at FedEx Forum. Visit grizzlies.com/auditions for more information and to register today.
Preseason Box to Row Coaches Poll has come out. Jackson State sits there at number 1. This is the third time in the poll's history that Jackson State has been the preseason number 1 team in the nation. And then Tennessee State being at 5, that really surprised me.
Get all of your HBCU sports and culture news by tuning in to HBCU Huddle with CJ Hurt and Mike Wallace. New episodes drop every Thursday on grindcitymedia.com, YouTube, and Spotify.
The NBA announced their Dunk of the Year yesterday. It was voted on by the fans, and it went to Jahmai for his double clutch through Porzingis and Derek White. The call of it was excellent. That game we hung on to for a long time last season, but it was a spectacular dunk.
Tune in to the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt live every weekday at 8 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Shinedown. Dance Kid Dance Tour. Live in Memphis. FedEx Forum Saturday, August 30th. With special guests, Bush and Morgan Wade. Get tickets now at livenation.com. Shinedown, live in concert. For more, visit shinedown.com.
You've seen the Grizz line jamming on the court and rocking out on Beale Street, and this is your chance to join the best drum line in the NBA. Grizz line entertains Grizz Nation at home games and events in the Mid-South through their impressive techniques and energetic shows. If you have experience in drumming and marching and love entertaining, Grizz line is the perfect opportunity for you to combine percussion and performance. Open auditions are Saturday, August 9th at FedEx Forum. Sign up today by visiting grizzlies.com/auditions.
Welcome back to the Chris Vernon Show on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Now, back to your host, Chris Vernon.
Bright and clear, my old folks and I drew near, just a village down in sunny Tennessee. I'd been speeding on that train that would bring me back again to that girl I left in sunny Tennessee.
All right, we're back. This is the Chris Vernon Show, Best of Edition. I am your host, John Roser. We'll be back Monday with a normal show, 10 Things. Of course, we love 10 Things. You've heard from Cedric, Jahmai, Mashack. Brent Rooker played high school baseball at ECS, played college baseball at Mississippi State. Now he plays in the majors for the Athletics. He's a 2-time All-Star, hit a 3-run bomb that helped kind of catapult the American League to a comeback after they were trailing big in the All-Star game this year. The NL still went on to eventually win the game in a home run derby. But Brent Rooker tells the entire story from playing at ECS to playing in college to playing in the majors to almost going to Japan to winding up being now what is a 2-time All-Star. Here was Brent Rooker on the Chris Vernon Show.
At what point did you realize you might have a future in baseball beyond high school?
So I knew, kind of like my sophomore year
of high school.
Of high school, I knew that I could play probably either football or baseball in college. I wasn't quite sure the level of each that I could play at. And then that's kind of where the recruiting process started. I was like, okay, which one do I actually think I'm better at now, and which one am I more likely to develop into a better player at so I can go play at a higher level of college, which is ultimately what happened. Mississippi State was kind of the first big school to offer me for baseball. And truth be told, I committed fairly quickly because, I mean, the reason I give is like, they offered me and I was like, I don't think I'm good enough to play there, so I'm going to commit like right now before they realize that and take my take my offer away. So I think they're screwing up here, and I'm going to take full advantage of their mess up. I'm just going to go and I'm going to commit and go be part of this awesome baseball program with this incredible tradition, incredible facilities, and all this stuff. And that was spring of my junior year, so during my junior baseball seasons when I got that offer and also committed. But really, seriously, up until that point, I thought that going to play football is what I was going to do because the interest I was getting for both sports was of smaller level schools, smaller D1 schools, some FCS schools, things like that. And I kind of figured, I think at that point in my life, I enjoyed football more. So if that's the level I'm going to be able to play either at, then I think I'd rather play football. But then because I got the opportunity to go play in the SEC and go play at this super prestigious baseball program, I took that, committed, and then went from there.
Okay, so when you come out of high school, all these baseball kids, they can get drafted out of high school. It is much different than the other sports. And so were you drafted out of high school?
No, I did not. I was not that guy. I was not like high prospects, draft guy. Wasn't highly rated on any of the recruiting sites for baseball, which is seriously why
you didn't even stay up that night disappointed.
No, there was no expectation.
I'm going to Mississippi
There was no
State.
expectation of getting drafted at all. That wasn't even a thought in my head. I wasn't even like the perfect game sites, the whatever, all the recruiting sites. I wasn't highly rated on any of those. Partially because like I took a little bit longer to develop. I was kind of a late bloomer physically, and then also partially because a lot of those ratings are based on how many events you go to in the summer, how many showcases you go to, and I was playing the other sports as well. So I wasn't like, I was playing each sport in its season and not doing one sport year round to where you get kind of highly ranked on those. And I'm not saying that's the reason I wasn't highly ranked. I wasn't highly ranked because I wasn't that good, and I will be the first to admit that.
Were you a fish out of water when you when you first get to Mississippi State? Do you feel like I'm not good enough for this level?
100%.
Really?
Oh yeah, that first fall I really struggled. I was in way over my head. I remember a month or two into fall scrimmages, I was getting beat up and I couldn't compete, and I legitimately started looking like, all right, maybe I should transfer and go play D2 football because at least I know I can do that.
Wow.
Our coach, Coach John Cohen was our head coach. He's now the AD at Auburn. But we did a thing at the end of every fall where he hands everybody a packet and you go through and you rank your teammates like 1 through 20. Like who do you think the best player is all the way through 20. And they take all the results and they hand the packets back to us at the end of the fall. Like here's the ranking system of your teammates. Yeah, and I was
where your teammates rank you.
I was
That's
19 out of
bro.
20.
That's dangerous.
I was ranked by my teammates as the second worst player on our team as a freshman. So yeah, rightfully so. Like I'm admitting I was not very good. I was not ready for that level of competition. I got dominated on a pretty consistent basis that first fall.
So what happens from there?
So we have our end of the fall meetings, and it's basically the option is like, hey, like we like you here. We think you're going to develop. We think you're going to get better. Your teammates like you, et cetera, et cetera. So we want you to stay on. We want you to redshirt this spring because we don't think you're not in a position right now where you can help us compete or help us win games yet. So we would like for you to stay on redshirt. If you want to transfer and go play JUCO and try to go somewhere else, or go play JUCO for a year and try to come back, like that's on the table as well. If that's what you want to do, we totally understand.
Are you crushed by this?
No, I was fully expecting it. No, yeah. Okay. So this did not come as a surprise. At this point in my career, I legit thought baseball was just something I was going to do for 4 years of college. I was going to graduate. I was going to move on, go get a job, do whatever. So I was like, yeah, I'll redshirt. Like I don't care. I like it here. I like my teammates. I like being a part of a program that's this good and has this much success. So I'll very happily take the red shirt, try to develop, try to get better to a place where I can contribute. I would love that. And if that doesn't happen, then I still get to be a part of this and get to be here at a place that I enjoy and I like. So I took the red shirt, and that's what I did that spring.
Okay, and then what happens the next year?
Next year, I play a little bit.
They ranked you 18th.
I think I was higher. I was higher. I wasn't 19th out of 20 anymore. Yeah. That first fall, I was just happy to not be 20th. I was like, all right, 19th. There's one guy that I'm better than. That's
who was the dude?
Did he quit?
It was 20.
He didn't last very much longer. So yeah, I ended up being the last guy that stuck around. The next year, I played sparingly. I got probably 80 or 90 at-bats over the course of a year. I did okay, hit like 260, hit a couple homers. Was definitely significantly better than I was the previous year.
Are you feeling like now, okay, I can play on this level?
Yeah.
Okay, so by sophomore, well, I guess
my redshirt freshman year.
Redshirt freshman year.
Yeah, I thought, I don't know to what extent that is, right? I don't know how good I can be, but I do think that I'm good enough to at least be a part of this team and to contribute in some way.
When does it all turn?
It was, we're still kind of a ways away, so I'll keep telling the story. Yeah. So that summer, college, you go off and play summer ball. You go to various, there's 8, 10, 12 leagues, whatever it is around the country. You go to them and play 40-year games during the summer to kind of get some at-bats and keep developing. That summer between my redshirt freshman, redshirt sophomore year, I go off playing the New England League and have a really, really good summer. When things started to kind of click that summer. I got way better. I was bigger, stronger, more physical. I had kind of figured out hitting at a more advanced level. So I went MVP of that league, start to get draft interest, start to kind of have the scouts, they send you questionnaires and they send you things to fill out or whatever. You start having meetings with them in the fall. So that's kind of when that started. And at that point, it was that summer. So my second summer in college after my redshirt freshman year, where I was like, okay, I think I can get drafted now. I think I'm good enough to, maybe I'm a later pick, maybe it's a, there was 40 rounds at that point. So maybe it's like a 10 to 20th round pick. I get to go off, have a chance to at least play some pro ball and see what happens. That spring, I had a really good fall. Again, I played, or for the first time, really, I had a good fall. I established myself like I'm a starter now. I'm going to play every day. I'm going to get my at-bats. I'm going to be a part of this team. We're really, really good that spring. We're ranked top 5 most of the year. We have, I think at this point, like 8 guys from that team have played in the big leagues at some point. 8 or 9.
8
yeah, off that one
Major
college
League
team.
Baseball players off the Mississippi State
On
team?
that one college team, I think it's 8 at this point. Some really, really good players. We get beat in the Super Regionals by Arizona. Didn't get to Omaha, which sucked. But we're still a really, really good team. Go off that summer. I go to the Cape Cod League that summer, which is kind of the best league as far as summer ball goes. Have another good summer. Make some swing changes that kind of make me take the next step forward. And then that following fall, or I should go back a little bit. I do get drafted after that year. So after 2016, I got drafted very late, 38th round. Decided to not take it. Wanted to come back to school for my 4th year. Try to keep developing.
What'd they offer you?
Money-wise?
Yeah.
They got to $250.
$250?
$250,000.
Okay.
$250,000. Yeah.
He said
$250,000.
Okay.
$250,000. And so, but that is a choice you're making at that point.
For
It's
sure.
like,
Yeah.
hey,
I mean,
man,
I'm 21 years old.
Yeah.
Like,
Here's $250,000 or playing your senior year at Mississippi State.
Right. And I thought, I just kind of had I had a feeling. I felt myself continuing to get better. I was like, it's not an agent at that time because that's not allowed, but it's an advisor or whatever. And they become your agent. Yeah. And I have conversations with them. I'm like, look, guys, and my coach back at Mississippi State too, because you're talking with them through the whole process. They want to know whether you're coming back or whether you're going to sign, so they can build a roster and go from there. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, I really think I'm like 1 or 2 things away. There's 1 or 2 things left that are going to click, and I'm going to become really, really good. And I just kind of had this confidence, and I had this feeling that was going to happen. So I went and played that summer, didn't sign, decided to go back to school, kept working, made some swing changes, made some made some approach changes.
You're looking at it?
Man, he made history that next year.
And
that A categories.
That fall, things just kind of started to click.
You think?
Yeah, it started to click.
College baseball player of the year, SEC player of the year,
Jeez.
387, 23 bombs, 82 RBIs, winning only the 2nd Triple Crown in SEC history.
The first player in SEC history to have 20 home runs, 30 doubles, and 75 RBIs in one season.
I guess it clicked.
It clicked. Things started to click. It was that fall. I just I don't know what it was. I just kind of started dominating our scrimmages, and I was like, this is new. I've been good, I've been productive, but this level of success is this is new and it's tangible because I know the things that I've done. I know the adjustments I've made to get to this point. So I think it's real, and you have coaches at that point kind of begin to instill confidence in you too. I remember our head coach just kind of looked at me after one fall scrimmage. He's like, "Look, I think you're going to win SEC Player of the Year." Like, this is like in October, right? Like way before the season. He's like, the jumps and the improvements I've seen you make, like, I think you're going to win SEC Player of the Year. And I was like, I mean, I think you're insane, but like maybe, like I think I'm going to have a good season and be a good player, but I don't think I'm at that level. And then we get to the spring, and that success just kind of continued over that entire season.
Is it all a confidence thing at that point, right? Because obviously he's saying that to you, and you're not very confident. But then once you start killing it, is it like one of those things where it seems like your story all along the way, you question yourself, then you perform, then you start to believe you can do it.
That is a very recurring theme, and it's definitely a pattern throughout my entire career. It's starting in college, what has happened for me at every level, college, and then rookie ball, high A, double A, triple A, the big leagues. I get to a new level, I struggle for a while, I make some adjustments, I figure it out, I start to get confident, and then I have a lot of success. And then it just kind of repeats the next level. And that's happened kind of all throughout my journey, all throughout my career.
But at some point you're like, this is taking entirely too long. I can't do this.
I want to go
single A, double A.
I would love to go to one level where I don't have to struggle to make an adjustment. But that's not how it works,
but
right?
Which is so crazy because people look at your story and then they see you make an all-star team a couple years ago and they're like, hold on, I remember Brent Rooker. Like we remember him playing in the SEC. We remember him being like Golden Spikes guy, National Player of the Year, SEC Player of the Year, whatever. Like, why didn't it take? Why isn't he already in the majors? Why are we seeing all these other young guys? And your trek again, but you end up doing it.
Yeah.
It's just later than others.
It was about a lot. I made my major league debut in 2020. During the COVID year, I played really well for 7 games, and then I get hit by a pitch, I break my arm, I miss the rest of that season. 2021, I don't make the team out of spring training. Was very disappointed.
No.
Yeah, I was going to let you just skip over that. The breaking the arm is crazy.
You skipped all the way to my major league debut.
Okay, fair.
But what the hell happened between you being the best college player in the world and 2020?
I get drafted in 17, so 17, 18, 19, 20, like that's fairly quick.
Yeah.
I was a very good minor league player. Like at every level of the minor leagues, I did struggle for a bit, but I did adjust. I did get better, and I ended up dominating every level of the minor leagues until the major leagues. So I did, as a guy who had success in college, as a guy who was a high draft pick, like I did what I was supposed to do at each minor league level to continue to move up and get promoted and get to the major leagues.
Are you thinking it's taking a long time or no?
No, I mean not.
Right.
Objectively, it didn't take me a long time to get to the major leagues. It took me a long time to establish myself and stay there. But to get there initially, from 2017 to 2020,
that's not long.
That's not. I mean,
yeah,
it's pretty normal.
So now let's start back at 20. 20, you get your arm broken.
20, I broke my arm. It's the rest of the season after playing. I mean, it was 20 at bats, so obviously extremely small sample size, but played very well. Get hurt, miss the rest of the year. 2021, I don't make the team out of spring training. I'm the last cut out of camp. I'm disappointed in that, obviously, but someone gets hurt literally the second inning of opening day, so I get called up the next day. Play a little bit, get some decent run in April, really struggle, do not perform at all, do not hit well at all, get sent back to AAA at the end of April, where I'm there until late July. Again, like I was a very good minor league player. Like I dominated AAA for those 4 months or whatever, put up some really good numbers, hit a bunch of homers, get called up at the trade deadline 2021, so late July.
But now you don't want to be, at that case, you don't want to be quad A, like they call it, right?
No, yeah,
which is every time they send me down to AAA, I destroy it.
And they
every time they call me up.
Right? And there's a ton of those guys who are just, there is a massive gap between AAA and the big leagues, bigger than I think people realize. Like it feels like a different sport when you're kind of going back and forth between the two. And
is it the pitching?
Yeah, it's the pitching. It's the information they have on you. It's the scouting reports. It's the defense, which is something people don't talk about. Like the defense is way better. So even like if you put the ball and play well and make good contact, like there's better defenders out there.
You get hits in AAA that you just do not get in the majors.
Exactly. So like you were talking about, there's a ton of guys who fall into that group of guys who are too good for AAA but just can't quite do it in the big leagues. And they stick around for a while, they play really well in AAA, or they go to Japan or go to Korea and go make their money over there and have really good careers over there. But that's you know, in 2021, I'm doing my best to not fall into that category. So I get called up back up at the end of July. I get 200 bats, so I get a pretty good run, pretty good, and I do okay, right? I hit, I think during that time, I ended up on the year like a little over 200 with 9 homers, but that included me going like 3 for 40 in April. So like from July to the end of the year,
it's tough to overcome 3 years,
right?
Especially if you're only getting 200 at bats.
It's a tough hole to dig out of.
A fifth of those.
Tough hole to dig yourself out of. If you're not up, I mean, if you're up the whole year, it gets and you get 600 at bats, it's not quite as tough. But so I think from the time I get called up from July to the end of the season, I probably hit 230, hit 8 homers. So like I played decent, like not blowing anybody out of the water, nothing crazy, but like I'm an above average hitter. I'm productive. I'm driving in some runs, doing some things like that. So that year ends like that. I come into 2022. You just want me to keep going?
Yeah. I was going to ask you your welcome. I was going to ask you, what was your welcome to the league moment? Like as we go back to the story, as we continue. When you said, "Oh, whoa, this might be a little bit different."
Yeah, did you face like Clayton Kershaw or
from
something?
Competition?
Yeah, Max Scherzer was like, "Yo, okay, this is different."
I can't hit him.
So it was. I think it was actually like some of the first games I played in 2021 when I got called back up were in Oakland, and that was at that Oakland team was really, really good. Like they were making playoffs. They had a ton of guys, and the pitching staff they ran out there with some of their relievers was just like, all right, this is I'm in trouble here. I don't know how I'm going to do this. And like I said, that was when I was in the midst of like a 3 for 40 stretch, and I was like, I might never get a hit again.
Was it one pitcher you were like, oh, okay?
You were like, I didn't even know you let go of the ball.
Yeah, you ever read about anybody, then you like saw the pitcher, you're like,
I'm trying to think back to that year and like early that year who I saw that would have just dominated me.
Oh, that's different.
Nothing. So this like honestly, nothing stands out because every guy was like that. I'm trying to think of like every single guy. Like I was just like, I don't know how I'm gonna hit that guy. I don't know how. I'm gonna hit that
now
guy.
that you are an awesome hitter, who stands out?
So this question's interesting because like there are guys who are not guys you would think of as like the top 5 hit pitchers in the league who I really, really struggle against for whatever reason. And then there's guys who were like Tarek Skubal won the Cy Young, won the Triple Crown this year as a pitcher in the American League, and like I have dominated him in my career. So it's like,
Cy Young,
and like me and Tarek have joked about that. It's funny. Just like I have really good numbers against him for whatever reason, but there's other guys who are still really good pitchers, but not like the top end of the league who like I get up there, I just feel like I have no chance against. Nick Pivetta is a guy like that with Boston. He dominates me. Jose Barrios dominates me. Jack Flaherty, I have a really hard time with.
Oh, that's your guy, isn't it?
Yeah, former Cardinal.
Yeah. He's. I don't see him well at all. He gives me trouble. Chris Sale is tough. I had 3 at-bats him this year. He struck me out twice and I homered once, but the 2 strikeouts were really, really bad. So I feel like he still kind of won that matchup.
All right, let's go back to 2022. We didn't want to get you off.
All right, we're at 2022. 2022, I come into spring training. I feel like I have a pretty good chance to make the team. I get traded the day before opening day from Minnesota to San Diego.
Are you crushed?
Yeah, I'm upset about it. I like my teammates.
It's a lot
in Minnesota.
warmer.
Yeah, way better. yeah. First, when we finished the day I got traded, we had a workout at the stadium in Minneapolis. We just gotten up there, and it was probably like 35 degrees. So yeah, way warmer. But I mean, I get traded to San Diego, but they immediately sent me to AAA.
Did it just hurt your feelings, though?
Yeah,
it's like, hey, I thought y'all believed in me.
A little bit, and it was like the group that was kind of coming into the big leagues at that time was like the guys I had come up playing with. So it was kind of like the guys I got drafted with, the guys I played AA, AAA with, had kind of grown close with. Like it was kind of almost like our time to take the team, right? And like I was kind of seen as the one who was expendable to send out, and the rest of that group kind of got to keep going and do that. Which, yeah, I mean,
so it hurt your feelings.
Yeah, that sucks, and it hurts, and it wasn't fun.
And now you have to prove yourself to a group of people that have no stake in you, right?
Exactly. So I get optioned immediately, get sent to AAA. It's kind of the same story.
I play great in AAA. Nobody
I dominate
cares.
AAA from then until end of July. I get called up very sporadically with San Diego. I get 7 at-bats total. I probably get called up 3 or 4 times. I'd get called up. I'd sit on the bench for 2 days. I get sent back to AAA, and I repeat that process kind of over and over again. But again, played really, really well in AAA, put up huge numbers.
Where are you living at this point?
This
do
was
you just keep on renting apartments everywhere?
Yeah, so
every time you're playing AAA?
Yeah, that summer.
You do?
I do. That summer, I went Airbnb to Airbnb just weekly because they changed the AAA schedule after 2020.
You rented an Airbnb every week?
Yeah. So AAA schedule is now like you travel on Mondays, you play Tuesday through Sunday, every Monday's off. So you're at least in the same city from Tuesday through Sunday every week. So I was in El Paso is where that AAA team was. I'd get an Airbnb in El Paso for those 6 days, move all my stuff out, we go on the road, come back, get a new Airbnb for 6 weeks.
Where's your stuff?
Yeah, so how much stuff did you have?
It's just crammed in my car.
So real grinder, man.
Yeah, no, I mean that's the reality of the whole minor leagues. I mean, really, unless
are other guys doing that?
Yes.
Renting out a Airbnb
well, for me, it was
every
like,
week?
Oh, he was getting paid, bro. Come on.
For me, it was like, I mean,
no, he did not have some kind of big contract at that point, right?
No big contract, but I mean,
You made enough money.
I had
to
enough
pay for
major time
Airbnb.
to I was making enough money to be okay.
Where's your wife?
She's back at home, so she's here, or not here. We were still in Franklin at that time, so she's in Franklin. Coming out to visit sporadically.
To your Airbnb?
Yeah, whenever she can.
We got a new one this week.
Yeah.
Did she ever go to the wrong one and you're like, no, that was last week's Airbnb?
Yeah, you don't want to.
I bet you've got a 5-star rating on
Airbnb.
Airbnb.
I've got a lot of trips booked.
You were like a super host or whatever they call them, right? Super customer.
So that's
Rooker.
That's kind of the reality. Because, I mean, I was like, I can get an apartment, like a longer-term thing, but I keep, like, every time I'd start to do that, I'd get called up and be like, okay, well, maybe this is the time I'm going to stick in San Diego, right? Maybe I'm going to get a shot now to play, and then 3 days later I'm back. So it wasn't worth it. I went, there's always a team hotel. I stayed in the team hotel a lot or did Airbnb or whatever. Then July, that trade deadline, I get traded from San Diego to Kansas City. To the Royals.
So now you've been Minnesota, San Diego,
Kansas City now.
Kansas City. You're already 3 within a year's time.
Yep. So get the call, get traded to Kansas City. They send me to AAA. I'm there for like.
Did you go into the office and said, "Stop trading me"? Why am I being traded every 2 months?
I did think when they traded for me. I got that call, and I was like, okay, they're going to put me in the big leagues. They're going to give me a shot. And then the next call I get's like, hey, we're going to send you to AAA. And I was like, all right.
Let me call
so
Airbnb.
I go back there. I go to Omaha. I'm there for like 5 days. I play like 5 or 6 games. I hit like 4 homers. And then I get called up to Kansas City. I'm like, all right, great. Now here's my shot. Like, now I'm getting my opportunity. I'm in Kansas City for a month and a half. I get like 25 at-bats. So I'm like almost never playing. When I'm playing, it's pretty much exclusively as a pinch hitter, which is almost an impossible situation to succeed in consistently. 2 weeks left in the season, I get sent back to AAA. I play 2 more series. I mean, I don't know if you have the numbers pulled up, but like my AAA numbers when I was with Kansas City, I hit like 430 with like 9 homers in like 20 games. So it's like it was at the end of that year. I was like, this is dumb.
Babe Ruth of AAA.
I remember talking to our AAA manager at the end of the year, and I was like, look, man, I don't know what the plan is here, but like this is stupid. I don't like me being here isn't doing anyone any good. Like, I'm not getting better. You're not like there's another guy in AA who maybe should be in AAA getting challenged. He's not here. I'm not getting better. This situation is
just hit 430 with 9 home runs in 20 games.
This just feels stupid.
What are we doing?
What's the plan? And obviously, AAA managers, they know some stuff, but they're not like super in the loop. So that season ends. I get DFA'd by Kansas City in November.
Which is what?
Which is taken off the 40-man roster, put on waivers. Basically, would be I don't know how other sports waiver systems work, but like we have our 40-man roster. And then your active roster is 26-man, but you have to be on the 40-man to be on the 26-man. So there's a 26, and then there's the other 14 either on ILs or spread out normally through AAA, maybe a couple guys in AA. So I get put on waivers, taken off the roster.
And there's for sure a lot of politics in all of this, too, because you're not a chosen, right? Everybody always wants to prove that they were right about their acquisitions or they was right about their draft picks or whatever.
I'm several teams removed from the team who drafted me at this point.
Right.
So.
Who's got stock in Brent Rooker?
So Oakland picks me up. They were the first team on the waiver wire. They picked me up, and then that's where I have been since. So 2023, I come into spring training with Oakland.
So are you sitting there when you get your opportunity with Oakland and you pop off and you make an all-star team or whatever, are you going, I could have done this 2 years ago if you guys would stop
let me cook,
putting
bro.
me in
I mean,
AAA.
yeah, let me cook, and I gotta get on this.
That thought definitely exists, but at the same time, like I don't know. I don't know if I would have, right? Like, and the reality is
you
like
weren't really a late bloomer. You were a late chance getter.
Yeah, that's fair.
Is that fair?
Yeah, but
because if you were killing it in AAA,
which
theoretically.
Yeah.
Right? But you got to get the reps.
You got to get the opportunity.
And you just kept bouncing to places where the reps are not available.
Right. So that thought definitely exists. Like, wow, I wish this would have happened 2 years ago. I would have been in a different place in my career, whatever. But, like, at the same time, it's like, I don't know. If I had gotten the opportunity earlier, I don't know if I would have taken the same advantage. I don't know if things are going to turn out the same way. Like, I mean, comes down to, like, as little thing as, like, maybe the 60 at-bats that I got in Omaha when I was in AAA there, like maybe I made some adjustments in those at-bats that allowed me to have the success the next year. So maybe if I don't have those specific at-bats in Omaha, I'm not the same player I am right now because there's like, I don't learn something from that one specific at-bat or that one game where I made this adjustment. That doesn't continue to pay off down the line. Yeah. So, I mean, I of course, I'm human and I have those thoughts. Like if you guys would have given me this chance 2 years ago, I could have done the same thing, but I don't know if that's the case. So it doesn't help me to dwell on that. I just have to live and accept the reality and be happy with the reality that I got the opportunity when I did, and I was prepared and ready at that time to take advantage of it.
You know what just dawned on me, Roser, as we were having this conversation? So Roser and I are big sports collectibles nerds. We collect, right? What is a Brent Rooker rookie? Like, what is he got? Is it like 2,000?
Your Bowman, your first Bowman Chrome.
Yeah, those are big ones.
Yeah.
I'm not a card guy, but I do know those are big ones.
Yeah, but I mean, like, would it be 2020?
Oh,
are we going back to that?
2017 in a Twins jersey.
The Bowman first is only when you get drafted, right?
Yeah, 9.5 grade. Is that good?
Yeah.
It's going for $2,000 on eBay right now.
$2,000?
Well, let's see what they say.
You say you would pay that?
That's way too much.
No, that's
way too much.
No. You can get one just sold November 30th. The gold out of 50 refractor auto sold for $187.
Okay. What's this I'm looking at?
That's reasonable.
What am I looking at then?
You're probably just looking at what's for sale rather than what was actually like bought.
Yeah.
People can ask whatever they want on
eBay.
No one's paying $20.
Oh no, that's an autograph. That's an
autograph.
It's his rookie autograph. Yeah. But it's from 2017.
Yeah, that specific card is always the Bowman first is always like on your draft year. It's not when you get not when you debut.
Yeah, that's right.
Again, I'm not a huge card guy, but I do know that.
And so then by the time you get to Oakland and you get your opportunity in Oakland, are you thinking, all right, I'm ready for this now. All I need is the opportunity. Or are we still having the confidence thing of what's going to happen if I get 500 or 600 at bats?
Yeah, right. I get claimed by Oakland that offseason. I am currently at this time. I'm in that category of like 4A, quad A guy. So what happens at offseason is like that's at that point in your career, like the Japanese teams start calling, like they want to come get you if they think that's a chance. But they think there's a chance you want to come over and play over there for a few years and make some money. I mean, they pay great money in Japan. Like there's guys who go over there and make a ton of money, have great careers. So Japanese teams call, they start out talking to my agent. We have some meetings with them, and basically my decision is, all right, like, do I want to take this? Do I want to go to Japan and kind of go this route in my career? Or do I want to give this one more season with Oakland? Like, I've talked to their front office. I've talked to our manager.
You were really at that point.
Oh, yeah.
One more year.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to give it one more crack.
I think that was a conversation I had with my agent. I was like, I think this is, if I'm going to get an opportunity to be a full-time guy, I think this is the best one I'm going to get. So let's give this one more year, see how it goes. And if not, then we know the Japan opportunity will be there the following year. So I go into camp. I have a really good spring training. I do exactly what you have conversations with them going into spring, and like, here's, you have a good chance to make this team. Here's kind of what we see your role as. These are the things we need to see out of you to fill that role. I do all of those things really well in camp. I end up being like the last guy to make the team out of that spring training. I get told after our last exhibition game, 2 days before opening day, that I get like I've gotten the last roster spot. I earned that last roster spot. I made the team. So that was super cool. And then the first probably week of that season, I'm filling that initial role, which is what they laid out for me, which is like, hey, you'll start against lefties, you'll pinch hit against lefties. Like, that's kind of where we see you on this team, as the guy who platoons, who plays against left-handed pitching. and who fills that void on our roster. And I have some good at-bats early on. An injury or two happens, some things happen where I start to get more consistent at-bats against righties and lefties. I kind of become an everyday starter. I have a really, really good first 6 weeks or so.
Well, and then it says on May 23rd, or I'm sorry, May 1st, Rooker was named the AL Player of the Week, 10 for 24, 5 home runs, and 11 RBIs in a week.
Yeah, I got
a week?
Yeah, what'd you do that week? What'd you do?
Good Airbnb?
Great Airbnb.
What was you on that week?
I had a full-time apartment, actually, so that was nice. I was settled into one place.
What did happen that week?
I came out that season, and I just had a really, I was just hot for the first 6 weeks. I felt locked in. I was
seeing the ball
seeing
differently.
the ball well, putting good swings on pitches. I wasn't missing stuff. I had a great first 6 weeks, put up some huge numbers, and then that's kind of when, that was the point where I kind of had established myself. Okay, I'm here. I can do this every day. I can be productive. I can do this at a high level.
But you go from that. This is now your first opportunity, and then by July you're in the All-Star game. Which is insane to think. Now that we've heard your whole story, that was your first real chance, and then you're walking into an All-Star game locker room.
Yeah, that was wild. The All-Star game was wild because I don't know. I'm walking in there and you see the rest of the jerseys hanging up, and you're like, I definitely don't belong here. I don't know I don't know who put me here or why I'm here, but I don't fit in with the rest of these guys. But it was, that first season, there were a lot of ups and downs in 2023. Like I said, I had a really, really good first 6 weeks, a really, really bad next 6 weeks. I kind of had to battle back out. Because what happens is you get to the big leagues, and it's your first taste of success. The first time you have extended success, the league figures it out and the league adjusts. And then you got to be good at something else, right? So I had those really successful first 6 weeks, first month and a half, doing what I was really good at, and then the league figures it out and say, okay, well we know what you're good at now. We're gonna make you do something you're not good at anymore.
Right.
If you want to continue to have success. So I really struggled the next 6 weeks, and then refigured it out kind of, and was pretty good the second half of the season. So that's kind of where the confidence comes from for me. It's not. Even after the first...
Being able to figure it out over and over and over again.
So I found the video of you reacting to when you found out you were an All-Star. You were emotional. So was it just everything all coming to a head, all these Airbnbs?
Yeah, it was a lot of disbelief. It was I gave an interview that day when the teams came out, and I found out I made it, and I was like, look, for a long time I have believed in myself to the point where I thought I could be a good major league player, but I have not been naive enough to think that I could be an all-star. I haven't allowed my self-belief to reach that level because it had seemed so far-fetched for so long.
But you understand how much different that sounds than the normal athlete. You're very forthcoming.
I should have made it before this.
I do.
Right. You're very forthcoming in the sense of saying, my coach told me, I think you can be SEC Player of the Year, and you sit there and
I was like, nah,
stop,
yeah.
right? Or I'm in an All-Star game locker room. There's a lot of guys that I deserve this. I should be here. Whereas to you sat back and nah, my dream was never that big. My dream was to be a Major League Baseball player.
Right there.
Right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. It was.
What's in that? What's in the box?
Champagne.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that was for a gift from our manager. But yeah, it's like I said, it was for a long time, I'm I can be a major league player. I can do this. I can be a guy who sticks around for a few years and has some success and plays some games. But I didn't, not since I was a little kid when you think you're going to be the best player ever, did I think I was capable of reaching the level that it takes to make an all-star game.
So then what happens last year?
2020.
It's such a strange year to be amazing, right?
Yeah.
Because you were top 5 in home runs, you're top 5 in RBIs, you're top 10 or 15 in average. You're one of the top 5 hitters in the major leagues last year. Win a Silver Slugger, the whole thing. All the while, the only story about the A's that people see on a regular basis is this last season in Oakland and fans being upset about this and they're losing their team and whatever else. Meanwhile, you're bombing away in the middle of this crazy ending to an Oakland franchise.
Yeah, it was an interesting year from our perspective as players in the organization, because there was a lot of emotions surrounding it. There was a lot of outside noise. There were a lot of narratives that kind of went with it, and we just kind of had to make sure we stayed internally focused, knowing that 2023 we weren't good at all. Had a really, really bad year, but we knew coming into 2024 that while we might not be at the point of contention or competition yet, that we had the right pieces in place or the right pieces coming to get closer to that window. And that's where our focus was. We did a great job. Mark Kotze, our manager, did a great job dealing with all of that stuff for us, kind of taking it off of us and allowing us just focus on playing and getting better and improving. And we had the right group to kind of deal with it at the same time.
And now you're moving.
Now we're moving.
You're Sacramento now.
We'll be Sacramento for the next 3 years.
But you're not. It's not a Sacramento.
I think
you're
we're
just an athletic.
I think just the Athletics.
Just
I don't think we're attached to the city name.
Did you do something with the Kings last night?
Yeah, I did a little something with their social media team. So we'll see if that comes.
What was it?
They asked me a bunch of Kings trivia, which I didn't know much of. But I'm
did
hoping
you tell them you're a Grizzlies fan?
Oh yeah,
you
yeah.
did. Wait, so were you wearing a Grizzlies shirt when you did the trivia?
No, I should have. Which would have been good.
It would have been amazing. I want to know about your, because you wore number 25.
Yeah.
Mark McGwire wore number 25 with the A's. Did that have anything to do with wearing 25? Because I know when you hit them home runs, you started.
Oh, that's wild.
No, I have always been 19, like all through high school, college, and then with the Twins, I was at 50 my first year. Then I was 12 with the San Diego. Then I was 55 with Kansas City, and then Oakland claimed me, and I was just given 25. Which, I mean, I was like, that's a good number. I'm not going to request to change it. Like, I'll definitely take that. And then I had success with it, so I've just stuck with it.
Because that's Mark McGwire.
But I mean, I was a Cardinals fan growing up. So like, I had Mark McGwire posters, and that transitioned to Albert Pujols posters, obviously, when I was a young kid. So I thought the 25 aesthetic with the Athletics it's a cool look.
It's a
for
vibe.
sure.
I was like, oh, this is a little kind of.
It is a cool look. And so then, what was different about last season for you? Because obviously, this is by far your biggest season.
It's what I talked about earlier. So I think anybody can kind of go have a little hot streak, a little insanity, like Linsanity run, like people want to, like people use that term all the time.
Or like your first 6 weeks.
Like those first 6 weeks. A lot of people can do that, right? Yep. It's the ability to readjust and be good again after the league figures you out is where the confidence comes from. So like, I had that really hot first 6 weeks, and then I really, really struggled for 6 weeks. And it's during those 6 weeks where, like, the internal battle for me is like, okay, like, am I actually good, or did I just have, like, I had my moment, I had my stretch, and that was kind of it. Like, that's what I have, and I can't do it anymore. I can't do it again. And it's the fact that I was able to finish that year strong after really slumping for a while that gave me the confidence and the reassurance and kind of the comfort to know going into 2024, like, okay, I know I'm going to struggle again because it happens to every player every year, but I now know for sure that I can come out of those slumps and I can come out on the other end and be good again even when they're happening. So I don't have to panic. I don't have to stress. I don't have to try to change everything when things aren't going as well because I know I've done this before and I can continue to do it again. So it's just like, it was a confidence. I mean, a lot of it's confidence. A lot of it was I learned more about myself as a hitter. I learned more about how to hit Major League pitching. I learned more about how to prepare at a really high level. But confidence was the main thing. And then when you sprinkle those other things in, the more tangible swing change, adjustment change, preparation change, when those two things combined, or those few things combined, I think that's kind of where the step forward happened.
All right, that is going to do it for us. Thank you to Chris Vernon, Devin Walker, Brent Rooker, Cedric Coward, Jahmai Mashack, Jalen Wallace is our technical director holding down the cameras. Jenna Broyles, she's our associate producer. Darnell Brady, he helped clip and cut this whole thing up. Thank you to him, and thank you to all of you for watching. Again, we'll be back Monday where we'll have 10 things for you. Until then, peace.